Hi, today we're going to continue with our work that we started earlier in the week on beaches. Now, you all came up with some fantastic ideas, some really good similes, some adjectives, some adverbs, some really good descriptive words to do with the beach. Now, all of your beaches are different, and if you think about it, there are thousands of beaches all around the world, and every one is different. You could have a stony beach or a sandy beach. You could have a beach in the middle of winter, a beach in the middle of summer, which sometimes in this country feels like being in the middle of winter. You could be on an exotic beach holiday in the Maldives or in the Caribbean or on some remote desert island somewhere. You might be on Brighton Beach eating an ice cream or going to the amusement arcade. So the possibilities of the beach are endless. Now, using all the information that you've put together, your task today is quite open. You've got three choices. You can either write a story that involves being at the beach, or you could write a diary entry about your day at the beach. Now, that could be a day at the beach where you're on holiday down at the seaside, or it might be that you've gone to the beach for the day. So you might start at home and jump in the car and go down to the beach for the day. So a story that happens on the beach, or a diary entry about being at the beach, or you could just write a description of a beach. Okay, so there's three different things you can do, and it's up to you which one you choose. If you wanted to do something different again, as long as there is a description or something about the beach in your writing, you can do that. But a story or a diary entry or a description. Now, I've got a couple of descriptions of beaches I'm going to read you. They are quite complicated. They're lovely. I'm not expecting anything quite as amazing from you, but you never know. See if you can prove me wrong. Maybe you'll be able to give me something as cool as these ones. Now, this is the first one. They're quite different times of year, different types of beaches, different types of weather. So this is the first one. The long coarse grass jerked and danced by the cliff edge, and white foam from the churning sea below flew like scattered snow as the wind whisked it up and away. At the bottom of the steep rocky drop lay a large sandy beach, the pale yellow grains intermingling with smooth grey pebbles. The gusts of wind whipped up the smooth sand into blinding clouds of grit as the white foam swirled amongst it, mingling together like storm clouds. The sea, a surging, restless mass, was a deep, dull grey-green, stretching out towards the horizon, flecked with frothy white surf, which bobbed and boiled on the surface of this huge cauldron. Huge breakers hurled themselves at the beach, racing over the sea, then crashing onto the sand with a noise like thunder. Low in the sky hovered dark, ominous storm clouds, lurking over the world as though amused at its futility. An albatross wheeled above, a tiny grain buffeted and blown by the rising gale. Along the coastline stretched a cliff, its dark face harsh against the sea and sky, while the waves and spray were continually dashed against the jagged rocks beneath. A few sheep huddled together amongst the thin grass, a puny show of resistance against the storm. Okay, so that's the first one. Now I just need to find the second one. The second one is, as I said, quite different. No, sorry. My technical ability is not working again. Right, here we go. It's just loading for me to read it to you. Right, so this one is about sunset on a, well, I'll read it to you and you can hear. So, while the first one I think was quite wild and made you feel whipped up by the wind, this one is very different. I'll stop. As I walked down the beach alone and climbed up onto the rocks, I jumped from one rock to another until I came across the biggest rock that I could find to sit on and enjoy the view of this bright orange sun just about to hit the water on the horizon. After a very fun but exhausting day at the beach, I finally felt relaxed, staring into this beautiful act of nature. Sitting there and enjoying the solitude I have, I closed my eyes and started to hear the soothing sound of the waves brushing against the rocks. I felt the rays of the sun starting to warm up my face and arms as sweat slowly starts to trickle down my skin. There was a slight breeze that kept brushing strands of my hair right onto my face, but I didn't mind at all because that breeze felt so cooling on my warmed up skin. Along with the breeze came tiny bits of salty sand flying all over the place as I moved the hair out of my face to get some sand in my mouth and taste the mixture of the grains and the salt, but it doesn't bother me. In the distance I can hear the sound of people talking, laughing and dancing to a local band playing reggae music at one of the nearby resorts. Everything seems so serene. I open up my eyes to the intense assortment of orange, yellow and pink colours all over the sky, with the fiery sun already starting to hit the water. The ocean water is now mirroring the colours in the sky. There's a small boat in the distance that's in the exact same path of the sun, which in my view looks like the sun is sitting right on top of it, like a cup on top of a saucer. I feel like it adds a little extra beauty to the scene. Out in the water I see a few people on jet skis heading back to the shore to dock before it starts to get dark. A few feet away from me, a couple walks onto the beach, right next to the rocks, enjoying this beautiful view as well. They take out their mobile phones. Hold on, something's happened to my computer. They take out their mobile phones to take pictures of themselves in the sunset to remember this moment forever. After seeing them, I decided to take out my phone from the side pocket of my jeans shorts and take a picture of myself in the sunset first, and then take a picture of this unforgettable scene in front of me. After a couple of minutes, I decide to reach out and put my feet into the water. As soon as I put them in, my body cools down immediately. It feels refreshing. I can feel the grains of sand washing in between my toes. I stand up to go into the water a little deeper until the water just hits below my knees. As I'm walking in, I keep stepping on large shells, so I decide to reach down and pick one up. It's white, pink, and the size of a golf ball. It's also broken, but you can still make out the shell shape and its rigid texture. I examine it for a few seconds and throw it back into the ocean. Standing in the water, my eyes start to get watery as much of the salty breeze sweeps my face, my hair no longer in my face but flying back behind me. The breeze feels amazing, cooling. It makes me want just to put my hands out and feel like I'm flying. After a couple of minutes of standing there enjoying that moment, I decide to go back to the big rock and sit back down. And it goes on. I'm not going to read you all of it because it's quite long, but you get the idea. So we've got one which is about the sea being wild and ferocious and the storm coming, and this one is about the sun setting. It's much more calm and serene. I would call them both descriptions of the beach, but so you could include something like that within your diary. So you could talk about what you do while you're on the beach if you're going to do a diary. Remember, your diary, you're kind of scanning the day from the beginning to the end. So what did you do first? And then you can include all the different things within your grid that we did earlier. If you're just going to do a description, that's great. But what I don't want is a list of I can see, I can taste this, I can taste that, I can, it can't just be a list of things that you can see, taste, touch and feel. It's got to be more flowing, like the ones I've read you. So a diary entry, a description, or a story that happens on the beach. It's your decision. If you'd like to come to the Zoom lesson, I'd love to see you. If you've got any questions, come to the Zoom lesson. Be brilliant. I'm really looking forward to reading what you write about the beach. If it really helps when you're writing, maybe you could put the sounds of the sea on in the background. Okay, that might help you to get into the mood. Okay, I'll see you all soon.